New Mexico Governor Grisham declares a ban on weapons for 30 days. Hey everyone, this is Tom with Tom's Talk Show, and I like pulling some article out of the news, and let's just sit down and talk about it and see what's going on, and I kind of give my thoughts about what this is, just as a common person, trying to think about these things. So in New Mexico, there was a shooting. It was a road rage incident. I do believe that a young 11-year-old boy was killed, and tragic. I can't imagine what that is. We lost a family member here not too long ago who went well before her time. She was in her 50s, but still you should be able to get live way past that. But so an 11-year-old boy is even more tragic, right? So, and you got to think about the parents and what they're going to, and all of that. I don't really like doing the whole, send your thoughts, whatever, to people. If I have something specific to pray for the family, then I will do that, because God, likes it when we pray specifically. And that's probably what I'll be doing next couple of days. So the governor decides here to, because this is a health emergency. This is the new pattern of government, which is we declare something an emergency. That means we have carte blanche to do anything that we want. That was COVID, correct? It was a health emergency, so we could force people to mask, lock them in their houses, and force them to take, injections that had no testing, basically. So this is also another one of those things. They declare an emergency, and they continue to try this on us in the real world, right? Declare an emergency and impose some rule and see how far they can get. So New Mexico governor issues a 30-day ban on carrying guns in public. So I looked over. So they're the fines. Let's see. Those who violate the order can be subject to fines up to $5,000. Your gun has to be in a lockbox with a trigger lock. But it's kind of odd for where this rule applies. So here in this section, this is the actual order here. I like going to the source. I don't like going to random newspapers who try and do things because that newspaper article in the New York Times didn't even have the source, didn't even have the detail in their article about this. So no person other than law enforcement officer or licensed security officer. How would it be to have a business that licenses security officers? I'd be saying, like, everybody come by, drop me a 20 and you're licensed. That'd be a good business to be in right now in New Mexico. They can't possess a firearm openly or concealed within cities or counties averaging 1,000 or more violent crimes per 100,000 residents. So let me understand. The more crimes, the less protected you want people to be? That seems a little backwards. And this is per year since 2021, according to the Federal Bureau of Investigation crime statistics, and more than 90 firearm-related emergency department visits per 100,000 residents from July of 2022 to June of 2023. Okay, so let's select some of the most violent times. That was the craziness of Black Lives Matter, all those different things. Those times, let's select the time frame of those times as when we're going to pick the statistics for when to enforce this. Okay, like that wasn't planned at all. And then it says 90 firearm-related emergency department visits. Okay, something that you're neglecting here. You're leaving something out. What about people entering the morgue? Right? So 90 firearm related emergency incidents. Okay, so there could be 3 firearm emergency related incidents to the emergency room and 5,000 dead people. That doesn't trigger your thing. 5,000 people in the morgue and only 3 get to the emergency room. That doesn't trigger it. That's, so this is asinine. This is arbitrary and asinine, which is what makes it worse, right? So not only are you're pulling statistics from some of the most violent times that we've had in the country, your parameters that you're using are completely nonsensical, and you're now removing protection for law-abiding citizens. I mean, I decided, of course, in solidarity, to bring out my my 9mm and have it with me, while I'm doing this video, because solidarity for the state. You should be able to carry your weapon and protect yourself, right? I mean, full on be able to do that. So what happens when you have a state, an area that is basically a gun-free zone? What happens? Let's see, what's happening in Chicago. Last weekend, 22 shot, 5 killed. Just last weekend. Just like in 2 days. And it's one incident. And there are many incidents in Chicago. What do you think is going to happen when every criminal knows, because they've announced the counties and cities that abide by, that have those, match that criteria, all the muggers, burglars, rapists, they know exactly where to go now, because those people are not going to be armed or be able to protect themselves. I wouldn't be surprised if the next 30 days are the most violent, most rapes. I mean, holy cow, this governor's a woman. Doesn't she care about other women? This is I think it's all on her head. If anybody is attacked or has anything happen to them in those counties, in that state, they should be able to sue her personally. Go directly at her. So, and during an interview, she's at this round table giving all these statements and saying what she's, enforcing on the public because of a health emergency. She was asked, so do you feel that the criminals are going to abide by this ruling? And she herself says, no. You're an insane person. You're insane. Luckily, as we see just a little bit further down here, the people of New Mexico are not insane. The people of New Mexico are regular people. Just here it says, residents in Old Town Albuquerque openly defied New Mexico governor emergency order banning open concealed carry. They had a peaceable demonstration saying no. And I think we need to, as citizens of this country, need to start doing that more and more. Also, the police chiefs and the county sheriffs have also said, no, we will not enforce this. Because they understand. They're the ones on the ground, right? They're the ones there who are watching people, get mugged, get raped, and trying to help them. Right? They're there, serve and protect. It says on the side of their car, probably. So, I mean, she quotes the, FBI, statistics database for getting this information. Does she even go and check the other statistics that the FBI has at about how many crimes have been stopped because the victim there carried a gun? It's a lot. It's like 500,000. So it's like 500 or so thousand crimes a year are stopped because people have a gun and they stop the crime. But she's taking that right away from her own citizens. There is, if I can find this, a call for impeachment. If she's not going to abide by the laws and enforce the laws as governor, that she took an oath to abide by the state constitution and the Constitution of the United States, and she's just going to usurp that and say, I'm going to do whatever I want, then you need to be impeached. Here in Florida, we've had some district attorneys, I believe, that were refusing to uphold the law and press charges against people because they didn't agree with the law. They've been removed, as they should have been. The law is, if your job is to enforce the law, it's not your job to decide what laws you enforce. That wasn't you don't get that decision making. That's for legislators and a group of people in the state legislature or federal that create these laws. That's had a group discussion and banter back and forth and a commonality of, compromise for what laws set forth, not for you just to arbitrarily say what the law is and what the law isn't, and what you're going to enforce and not going to enforce. So, I don't know if it's going to get anywhere with impeaching this governor, but it would be nice if somebody doing something wrong got impeached. I think it will probably fall flat, like most other impeachments on the Democrats, towards the Democrat side, since we've seen nothing or heard nothing or gotten anywhere with the impeachment of Biden for his basically atrocious acts against, his treason basically against the United States. And this governor is basically doing treason against her own citizens. Ugh. All right, what do you think? Should the impeachment go through? Are you glad that the police officers and law enforcement are not going to abide by this? I like seeing the people come out in solidarity and just say, no, we're carrying our weapons. Don't care what you say. I think that's good. All right. All right, let me know what you think about this story. Is this going to be the pattern going forward? Declare an emergency and then just take away all of your rights? Or are we going to be able to fight back for this stuff? All right, thanks for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the video, and talk to you later.